Hello there guys, welcome to the channel, Talking with Jay Spring. I'm your host Jay, giving you a video on the channel today. Hello there guys and welcome to this review for John Wick Chapter 2. If you've missed the first John Wick review, go ahead and check it out. There'll be a link in the description, annotation at the end of the video, and a card above my head you can click on. I want you guys to leave your ratings and your opinions on both of these movies, John Wick Chapter 2 and number 1, and let me know what you think of these movies. I'm going to be reviewing Chapter 3 when it comes out on Wednesday in the UK for you guys, as well as ranking all the movies from the worst to the best. I don't want you guys to miss it, with a bunch of other great content coming up when it comes to the Spider-Man franchise, the X-Men franchise, and also other reviews, reactions and ranking videos coming up on the channel. I don't want you guys to miss it, so subscribe and hit the bell for much more. And if you simply enjoyed the video, smash that thumbs up and don't forget to comment down below of your thoughts. So without further ado guys, let's just get straight into this review. John Wick Chapter 2. This is an action crime thriller movie around 2 hours and 2 minutes long, and it was released in the UK on the 14th of February 2017. Now the story is, after his return to the criminal underworld, John Wick has to repay a debt, and while he's repaying this debt, he discovers a large bounty has been put on his life. Let's get on to the good points. Now the good points about this movie is this again is another badass action movie, and probably one of the best action movies over the last century. I really enjoyed this. I think the action scenes were amazing. I think we got some really good iconic scenes just like the first movie did, and memorable scenes where we can go back and say, before, when you've watched it, you can say, I remember that scene, I remember this scene, because they were so iconic and memorable. The stunt work was at its best definitely in this movie, and well choreographed. Compared to the first movie, it took a big uplift when it comes to that, as well as the editing, the camera work and the directing really took an up level in this movie as well. I really enjoyed that the underground, the whole criminal world was really explained well in this. You got to really understand the terms, the things that could go wrong if you disobey an order. They've all got their own sort of code, and I think it was really well explained in this movie. I absolutely love John Wick's dog in this movie. The dog that he's basically got now is basically, with Keanu Reeves, he's got a certain look. And you've got to have a dog with a certain look that suits Keanu Reeves as John Wick. Now I think they chose the perfect dog. It really suits him. I absolutely love the dog. And I'm looking forward to see more John Wick Chapter 3. This movie definitely took inspiration from other movies. Definitely when it comes to like the cowboy westerns, martial art type movies, it definitely took inspiration from them, with all the stare downs, the standoffs, the fighting choreography scenes. Some of the scenes look really similar to other scenes in other movies. This film has a bigger cast, great character building and some great performances. Now some of these performances are by, of course, the main man himself, Keanu Reeves, as John Wick. Now John Wick in this movie definitely has headshot every time. Definitely has some more combat. Definitely has some cool iconic scenes in this movie. And Keanu Reeves smashes it yet again. Because this guy just knows how to make action-packed movies, and just knows how to create a good character, and even make scripts with dialogue. Just make sound, every sentence, it could be like okay. It could just make it sound so cool. And it's just his presence on screen as a whole, just like the first movie, really just draws you in. Ricardo playing as Santino in this movie, the bad guy, he really done well in this movie. When you have obviously an arch enemy in a movie, I think this is the perfect type. Obviously we understand his reasons of why he's going after John Wick in this movie. It gets explained, and the whole blood brothers type thing between the two. I really did enjoy him as a character. He really frustrated me, obviously, because I care about John Wick, and I felt he'd done his job as a villain. Guys, there definitely has to be one bad point if you're being nitpicky, and the one bad point for me is John Wick as a character in this movie just took a little bit of a downfall for me. Now, he had all the action-packed fight scenes and all the shoot-em-ups, and definitely was more badass. But as a character, that emotional side which I connected with in the first movie wasn't there in this movie. Now, in the first movie, he had a reason, a purpose of why he was so angry and wanted to kill people. Obviously, the dog dying and his wife dying, and the connection between him and everything like that in the first movie. Now, in this movie, it pretty much feels like there is a reason, but you just don't get to feel that reason. It's not his performance, it's the character build in terms of John Wick as a character. I just feel like they let that down a little bit in this movie for me. I didn't really connect with him as much as I did in the first movie, but I definitely enjoyed his performance as a whole when it comes to the whole action-packed side of things. So guys, it's rating time. Let's have a look at critics had to rate this movie. We have Rotten Tomatoes giving it a 89%, IMDb giving it a 7.5 out of 10, and Metacritic giving it a 75. My rating for this movie is an 8.2, which makes this movie totally awesome. Now guys, this movie, if you didn't like John Wick 1 or you did like it, this definitely upgrades it in every way. I'm sure everybody enjoys this movie a lot more than the first movie. There is some good aspects in the first movie, but this definitely upgrades. That's why the first movie got a 7.8 and I'm giving this an 8.2. I think it definitely upgraded. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing John Wick Chapter 3, which all the ratings have come out so far really positive. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them basically finish off this trilogy. I'm wondering whether they'll do more. I'm hoping they don't. I think they should just keep it as a really good action-packed trilogy, and I think this movie is a definite must-watch. I do rewatch this movie more than the first movie, even though the first movie is such a great movie as well. So guys, an 8.2 out of 10 for John Wick Chapter 2. If you haven't seen the first review, as I've mentioned, linked in the description and annotation at the end of the video. And if you enjoyed this review, simply smash that thumbs up, comment your ratings and thoughts down below, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for much more. You ain't going to want to miss the content coming up on the channel, especially when it comes to the John Wick Chapter 3 review, which should be up on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that, guys. And without further ado, guys, I've been me, you've been you, and I'll see you next time on Talking with Jay Springett.